Hello, I'm Mark Christie. I'm a coach at Sun City Tri. Most people know I'm extremely shy in front of the camera, but you know, JB athlete, star of outlaw. Here we go. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and show you how to set up your bike and your turbo so that you can have exactly the same resistance every time you use it. What will happen is that will enable you to have the same setup every time you use your turbo, so you can kind of measure whether you're getting better or whether you're not, or whether you're faster or whether you're not. But just to labour the point, there's absolutely no point in trying to take measurements from something that's going to be like inconsistent. So that's what we're going to have a look at. Yeah. Right, first things first, dead easy to replicate this. You just want your tyre at 100 psi every time, that way you know that you're going to be the same. Just a few little pumps. Right, the next bit's just how to set the right sort of resistance on your wheel. What I tend to do is give the wheel a spin. I turn it up until it's just say touching the wheel, so you can see there where it's just say touching, you can just say hear it. For my turbo, I kind of know that what's right for me is about one full turn. That's okay for me.
Yeah.
But just one of the things that's absolutely vital is that what you can't be doing on a turbo is haven't been in your top gear and just been able to fly around and around. Sometimes you do see people that look like they're doing about 60 mile an hour or something when they get back put on the Garmin. Not particularly good if that's not really working. So what I'm saying is that your top gear has to be really hard, yeah. And if it's not hard, then you need to put a little bit more tension using that knob or whatever your turbo does. So as you can see, I'm in my big ring at the front, and if you just come round, I'm in the smallest ring on the back. So that's my hardest gear, yeah. So by hardest gear, what I mean is that should be difficult, yeah. That should be a hard gear. I'm not saying that I can't push it, but it feels like I'm climbing a really tough hill, yeah. Can't really get up to kind of a good cadence. It's hard, but that's exactly what you want for your top gear.
Okay.
Right, so what I'm going to show you now is how you know that you've got the same resistance every single time you set your turbo. So for me, I turn that knob like a good one turn, but you know, things like temperature, all sorts of things, you know, could make a little difference. Here's a great way that you know that you've got it right. So what I'm going to do is cycle along a nice easy speed, yeah. So you know, about 20 kilometers an hour. When I stop pedaling, I'm going to hit my stopwatch, yeah. So as I go stop, and the wheel stop, yeah. So the wheel took 3.55 seconds to stop, yeah. What that gives us is, excuse me, what that tells us is the next time I set my turbo to do it all the same, turn the knob, one full turn, get on the bike, 20 miles an hour, start the stopwatch when I stop pedaling, stop the stopwatch when the wheel stops moving. That should always be about 3.5 seconds then for me, yeah. And for this turbo, it can be totally different if you're on different turbo, but so long as you've got that nice hard gear in your top gear, so long as you're going along at a speed that's, you know, relevant to yourself, and you use that same speed every time, what you're now going to get is a really sort of a really good way to set it up, so it's going to be consistent for you every single time, yeah. From there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a session sort of where I do 20 minutes, kind of as hard as I can for 20 minutes. This is purely just to measure where I'm at. A couple of different ways of measuring it would be, you could measure kind of how far you travel, yeah. You could just measure your average speed, or if you have a power meter, you could actually measure sort of like what your power was over that time, yeah. As long as everything's set up exactly the same, what you will be able to do is you'll be able to take that and you'll be able to replicate it out as many times as you like throughout the season. So before I start my 20-minute time trial, what I know is that the knob is 1 full turn, time for my wheel to stop is 20 kilometers an hour. That takes 3.5 seconds for the wheel to stop after I stop pedaling. What I also know is as well is that my tyre is at 100 psi. Yeah, so I know all that. All I've got to do now is jump on my bike, always do a warm up first, then do my 20-minute time trial.
Okay.
Whew, that was a sweaty session. What I do know is, using my Garmin's telling us what I've actually done. So in that 20 minutes, I write down that I've done 30 kilometers an hour average. Garmin tells us that I've done that. You might not have a Garmin, you might have a really simple device which might only tell you how far you've gone. Exactly the same thing though. In fact, it's even more accurate, because let's just say I've done 10.005 kilometers. Yeah, it wouldn't show up my average speed. So what I'm looking at is, with all the training that I do between now and maybe in 6 weeks time, or whenever I decide to measure myself, hopefully that'll have made us a little bit better, a little bit stronger, and I'll be able to replicate this again, going through all of this of how to set me turbo up, and then going through this as well to see whether I've got any better or not. Don't get too disheartened. Number of things that can set you away if you're finding that you don't make progress. There's other things that you can replicate as well, things like when you last ate before you came on your turbo. Don't eat straight away before you do it, but maybe try and keep that as consistent as you can as well. So if you kind of come in and get your tea and then 2 hours later you do your test, it's even more consistent. Happy days.